Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my second episode of Talk About Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing good. It showed 4 waiting, which I'm sure I was one of them. I can see the chat on this tablet now, but it's awfully tiny. So I'll still have to probably look back at my computer. Hey, Ginger. I hope you're doing good. I don't know how it's been at y'all's house today, but it got pretty warm up down here. I think we were pushing 90 easy. Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, Ginger, is hot today. And this is only May 7th. I don't know how we're going to stay in the middle of July if it's already this hot. I'm sweating now, just sitting in this room. Hey, Canadian Family Life. I'm actually a little more nervous this time than I was on my live debut for some reason. I guess because I'm uh, really not sure what all to talk about. I do still have another ghost story, though, I'd like to tell. And of course, Derek's popped in. Not sure how many people might show up this evening. Like I said the other time, I'll be grateful for anybody. If they want to just pop in and say hey in the chat. Rhonda probably won't show up this evening. I told her this morning I was going live again, but who knows? She might surprise me again like she did last time. Hey, Melinda. Y'all probably can tell I'm a little more nervous, and I don't know, like I said, why. I seem more relaxed during my live debut. I guess because I didn't know what to expect, and it was definitely fun to do, and I'll try to make this one as fun too. No, my brother-in-law actually had to go to the hospital yesterday morning. Rhonda's husband, he had a really bad stomach ache, and it got to the point he couldn't stand it anymore. So she took him up there to the emergency room, and they started, of course, doing tests. And turns out he has eat up with gallstones. They weren't going to remove his gallbladder then because it wasn't too much of an emergency, but the ER doctor definitely told him to see another surgeon and that it probably needs to come out. When she was first describing, though, his pain to me, I asked her if he still had his appendix, because in 2014, January 2014, I found out what appendicitis feels like. I think I'm back.
Huh? There you are. You are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Um, Something popped up on this little tablet of Derek's, and it said something about show content. And because I guess I didn't answer quick enough, it just kicked me out. I mean, it just totally went black on me. So sorry. Hopefully that's not going to happen again. That just goes to show I'm so new to this and this tablet too. It said something though about showing original content, and I don't know. Like I said, I guess I didn't answer it quick enough. So sorry about that. I appreciate y'all standing by because I didn't really know if I couldn't have got this thing to work. I just would have had to cancel the rest of it. But I hope I haven't missed anybody that's come in. Oh, my appendix story. That's what I was saying when it done all that. Yeah, I had appendicitis in it was January 29th, 2014, and Derek had to call an ambulance to me, and I had my appendix removed that afternoon at about 2:30. But they had I had actually went to the hospital the day before. They had run some tests, and I had a not so great doctor. Basically, just throw her hands up to the side and said, "If you still are hurting in 48 hours, go see your doctor." So I come home, and like I said, Derek had to call the ambulance to me the next morning, and but they had let it go so long that my appendix was already gangrenous, and they couldn't. They tried to remove it laparoscopically, but wound up having to do an open appendectomy. So I stayed in the hospital from that Wednesday morning until Saturday afternoon. Come home with a total of 14 staples and a drain tube and antibiotics, and it wasn't, like I said, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So when my sister said that her husband was hurting really bad, I was afraid it was his appendix, but like I said, it turned out just to be gallstones, a lot of gallstones that he's going to have taken care of. Yeah, Melinda. I think they wanted to downplay some of my symptoms. I don't think it was a matter of them not believing that I was in pain, but I think they, like I said, they were just trying to downplay a lot of stuff. Which too much information. I pissed in a cup for too many times. I finally told the woman, I said, "Look, it's not happening." Because they were wanting a urine sample like every 35, 40 minutes. And I just finally told them, it ain't happening. I don't know what they were trying to do, but I done told them whatever they had before, they'll have to just try to use again because there wasn't no more. Because I didn't feel like drinking anything. And that was that Tuesday before that Wednesday. And they didn't treat me well that Wednesday morning either. Once I got back there, it was a mess. I hope that never happens again. I don't know how that comment got put up there as me saying bye. That's weird. I saw that it was on there, but I tried to erase it, and I didn't know that it had said it. Oh my gosh, Melinda, that's terrible. My daddy, about 5 years ago, him and his second wife had went to a fast food place here in Douglas, and he was walking through the parking lot with their food plates, and some guy on a bicycle ran into him and knocked him down, and Daddy wound up breaking his hip in 3 different places, and they had to do surgery on his. We found out later, though, that was how some people rob people. They would knock them down using their bicycle, and then their attempt to act like they were helping them up, they would snatch a guy's wallet out of his back pocket or snatch a woman's purse and then ride off on their bicycle. This guy that hit Daddy was either a rookie or just didn't realize how hard he was going to hit Daddy, because Daddy went flying. He said about 5, 6 feet. I mean, Daddy remembers flying through the air and landed. But yeah, like I said, that's been a long time ago. Daddy got over it good though. He started finally walking better, and so yeah, I can't imagine if they had just told Daddy that, yeah, it's broke, and just send him home. I couldn't imagine that for nothing. Which I broke a couple of bones in my lifetime. When I was 10, me and Rhonda had got a pair of roller skates for Christmas, and right at the start of that summer that I was 10, we were skating around a neighbor to my mom and daddy's service station. She had a carport that we would skate around when she wasn't home. And I was going to go around just one more time. And my skate wound up hitting a little patch of grass there on the side, and down I went. And didn't know it, but I broke my left wrist. So I spent that whole summer vacation out of school in a cast from my knuckles on my fingers up to the bend of my elbow. That was not fun at all. And then 2 years later, when I was 12, me and Ron was in 6th grade, and it was almost the end of school, and we were practicing for field day. And I don't know, I'm sure y'all know what field day is in school, but we were practicing the 3-legged race, and I ended up breaking my hand. Me and the girl that I was tied to, one of us tripped and fell, and down we went. But my left hand, and luckily it was my left hand, I'm right-handed, but it was my left hand had somehow, when we were tumbling, my left hand had wound up under me, under my back, and it broke that little bone in my hand. So yeah, for a couple of weeks of that summer vacation, they opted not to put a cast on my hand. Our regular physician just put a splint on my ring finger to keep a lot of my fingers from bending and stuff. And so it healed okay, but I still to this day think whoever's idea it was to tie 2 youngins' legs together and tell them to run I don't know. Looking back on it, that's not a very smart thing to do. Or in my case, it wasn't. I'm sure there's thousands of school kids do it, and don't wind up breaking a bone. But it's that possibility, though, I realized has always been there, and I'm surprised it don't happen more often. Sorry, got my cold snack. Now, my twin sister Rhonda, she's never broke a bone. And our oldest sister, she's broke bones before too. Actually, when she was 8 years old when we were born. So me and Rhonda was only about 7, 8 months old that August, and she actually broke her leg pretty bad. She had to stay in the hospital in traction for a month, and then even after she got to come home, she stayed in a almost a full body cast for a long time. So broke bones is definitely not fun to have, but then when you're dismissed so easily, like Melinda said, it can make it way worse. see. We've got 9 people watching. I really don't want to just change the subject. If somebody else wanted to add to a broken bone story, but I do have my like I said, I got another ghost story for y'all if y'all want to hear it. Well, Derek says he had never broke any bones. He has actually broke one. It's his nose when he was little. Derek, your comment don't make sense. Did you put? Oh yeah, funny about smelling around corners. I think he's mentioned that in one of his lives before, though, about his nose. There you go, boy. Like I said, I do still have one ghost story or a ghost story, and if it's all right with y'all, I'll just jump in and start telling it. Um, this story, I told y'all last time that um, this one got more physical. Hey, Big Valley Living, thanks for being here. Um, This, like I said, this ghost story I wasn't present for. Just it was Rhonda and Mom and Daddy had already left that morning, going to the service station. And now Mom and Daddy owned and operated the service station, and it was only a quarter of a mile from the house. So Daddy would always try to open at 8, but he would get there a few minutes before. So we had got it. Me and Rhonda it was our senior year of high school. We were already 18. And we got up that morning, and Rhonda just simply did not feel like going to school. She hadn't slept well the night before, and she just did not want to go to school. And Mama, of course, got spitfire mad. She was scared that we were missing too much school, but I had a test I had to take, so I had to go on without her. And Rhonda was adamant, she wasn't going, so she wasn't going. And like I said, it made Mama mad, but Mama went on. I left about 7:30 to school that morning, and Mama had went to the bathroom to finish getting ready so she could go to the service station. Rhonda just went in her room, just gonna lay back down and try to nap or whatever. And Mama heard Rhonda stomp down the hallway and slam her bedroom door. And Rhonda heard Mama stomp down the hallway and slam the bathroom door. So they both come out of their respective rooms. Mama was in the bathroom, Rhonda was in her bedroom. They both come out, Rhonda saying, "Mama, please don't be so mad." Mama come out of the bathroom saying, "What have I told you about slamming the door?" And they realized as they both walked out into the hallway that it was neither one of them that had slammed the door. Mama and Daddy's bedroom doors was physically jutting out into the hallway, wedged together out into the hallway. So that immediately stopped Rhonda and Mama from being angry with one another and arguing. Mama and Daddy's bedroom doors, it wasn't a traditional single door that just opened and closed. Mom and Daddy's bedroom doors, they were 2 little half doors. And the one, if you were standing in their room looking at the doors, the left one would have to close first, and then the right one, because the right one had a little lip on it that would basically cover up that seam that it would make when the two doors was together. Well, that particular morning, the right one had went first, and then the left one, so they were wedged. Rhonda had to put all of her weight behind those doors just to get them to open. And of course, once they got in the bedroom, there was nothing in there that they could physically see. Um, but the doors had slammed with enough force that it actually broke them off of their hinges. Um, it was it was very weird and scary, because their bedroom window was cracked open about 4 inches. But our nephew at the time was only 4, and he'd had Hershey Kisses in Mom and Daddy's bedroom, and the little white banner that says Hershey Kiss, there was one of those laying in the windowsill. And Rhonda just went over there and, just barely blew on it, and it just fluttered away. So it wasn't the wind that come through the window. And if a gust of wind had to slam those doors that bad, I mean, it would have had to have been uh, tornado force winds. Um, but needless to say, Rhonda did not stay there at the house alone. She went with Mama to the service station that day. And we just always assumed that whatever entity was in the home either didn't like the fact that Mama and Dad, Rhonda and Mama were arguing with one another, or mad, or the fact that Rhonda was going to stay at the house that day. It definitely, we thought, wanted the house to itself, that she could not stay there that day. But yeah, that's just something else that went on in that house. Um, when they both got to the service station, though, they told Daddy about it. Daddy actually went back to the house, and he looked at the doors and he couldn't believe it, because, like I said, I mean, it literally had it made the hinges come off the wall. That's how hard and with such force that they had slammed. So that's just another ghost story of mine. Like I said, I do have a lot of them, but that was the one that really got the most scary physical. And like I said, I wasn't even present for it, but um, I saw the after effects of it when I got home from school that day. And I'm not so sure that Rhonda even mentioned staying home from school anymore until we graduated. So that might have been the plan the whole time too. But it was always just funny to me how the stomping down the hallway was heard by both Rhonda and Mama. So whatever had done that to the doors had definitely come through the living room and entered the hallway, and then went into Mama and Daddy's bedroom from the hallway to do that. Hi, Derek. Yeah, we hadn't had Hershey's Kisses in a while. And I like the ones now with it's the caramel. And I think they make one now with almonds in it or something like that. It's totally different than just the regular old chocolate ones that we used to get. Yeah, those are definitely creepy stories. And like I said, I have several. I mean, some of them's just boring. Well, not necessarily boring, but they're just standard, typical. You couldn't. Things would just disappear in the house, and you would find it later, like hours later, but it would be in a spot that you know for a fact that you would have never put that particular item. Um, or it might show up exactly where it's supposed to be, but you know you had already looked there 15 times, and when you finally give up on needing the part or whatever, there it would be, when they would be, nobody else in the house. M&M's make coffee flavors now? Huh. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'll drink it like if it's really cold. So I couldn't imagine coffee flavored M&M's. I prefer the peanut M&M's.
I'm gonna do a pop in.
All right, Derek.
What's that? This
Ginger, I think he wants to show you something.
have a grow bag. But onion seeds.
You said onion seeds?
Yes.
Okay, onion seeds.
Yellow sweet Spanish. Heirloom organic. Walla Walla.
Okay.
Walla Walla, whatever it is.
I have no
Okay.
idea what
How many
those
now?
are.
Hey, everybody.
She says she's here. Yeah. Yeah, Derek. She says nice, Derek, so she saw it.
Cool. Is Gina mad to make a video about this too? She might help me.
No, Gina ain't gonna help you. I just go to Walmart and buy an onion if I want one. Yeah, when I got home from work yesterday, there were 2 packages on our front porch. So yeah, I knew Derek had ordered something. I just didn't know what it was until I saw that, and I'm like, that's what he was talking about the other day. Yeah, I'm sorry, something just hit my foot. I guess I am just super paranoid now because of my ghost stories, but something just hit my foot. Huh. I don't know. That was spooky. Ew. Got me wishing now I could pick my feet up.
Snaky, snaky.
Whew. Okay, sorry. I don't know what that was. Which after we found the little rat snake in here, that's got me super paranoid too. Yeah, I've heard, other people say that about coffee. And I have heard now that coffee, like in chocolate, makes it just really good and like a rich chocolatey flavor. I've never tried any chocolate or coffee flavored candy or nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be looking down now. That had me freaked out. And it could, I don't reckon it would be a little old mouse, but it was weird. Definitely weird. Something definitely hit my foot. Okay. Which now, back to the ghost doings, I have never had really anything go on here that was spooky or anything like that couldn't be explained. The room that Derek uses for his YouTube, we were sitting there in the living room one time, just out of the blue, that door popped open because we keep it closed. But that was an easy explanation. When I went and opened it and closed it again, you would think that it was closed and I could just push on it and it would open. The little striker plate wasn't working good. Hi, Melinda. If it's the S word I'm thinking of, I'm surprised I didn't. Y'all, that was that's a pat on the back for me because I almost did say some bad stuff. Actually, I don't know how I refrain because it spooked me. I still don't know what it was, and it still got me on edge. We did get overrun with mice, which once we've got the floors fixed now, I'm hoping they can't get in, which we really never knew how they were coming in. Um, sorry. Um, but now Derek bought this thing. You plug it into an outlet, and it sends a pulse through the wire, so it's supposed to stop them from like bedding up in your walls. And yeah, it seemed to work. But when they're already in your house and you don't really realize how many or where they're all at, it just kind of runs them then into open rooms. So we found out the hard way, really, how bad they were in here, which we're surrounded by fields. We had a bunch of hay bales sitting beside us too that Derek's nephew turned the cows into, so they had to eat that down, and we assumed that they had just left that hay and stuff. But hopefully, with it warming up, they'll either be leaving, and we'll try to make sure they don't get back in here because we don't have I don't like the sticky traps, and we don't have the traditional wooden ones that you bake with peanut butter and the snappy ones. I do put out poison though, and yes, it's sad when I find a dead one in here. Just like when we killed that little bitty rat snake. I mean, we hate to, but I'm not going to try to get one of those live traps and then take it outside and turn a mouse loose just 10 foot from the house just for it to turn around and beat me back in the door. I mean, I see no reason for that. That just defeats the purpose, in my opinion. Yeah, Melinda, that may have been why that little rat snake was in here. But now I don't know. He was weird. I first saw him. They're getting too much information in our spare bathroom. He poked his head up through that air conditioner vent. And then we didn't really know where he had went. And then we had saw him one other time there again in that same bathroom. Mouse had chewed through the bottom part of the cabinet, like under the toe kick part. We thought we saw the rat snake in there, and then I found him in here that Thursday night, and we didn't have no choice but to kill it. We didn't have nothing he surprised me. I mean, I think I invented a few cuss words when I saw him in here because I wasn't expecting him, but we didn't have anything at the moment to take him out or even put him in, much less to try to take him outside. So, because he crawled up under my old computer desk part where the tower sits, so we couldn't even really see him. I was just making sure he didn't crawl out and escape in another room. So Derek had him kind of hemmed up with the broom, and then when he come out on the other side, I'm sorry, Derek just popped him with the mag light, and that was it. Quick and fast, we hope. And I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, that's all there was to it. We didn't have anything else to do with him. Now, what does that do, Melinda? Jiffy cornbread mix and baking soda. Sorry, I was making sure that the chats was the same on my computer to my tablet because I thought a while ago that something was moving a little quicker and I wasn't seeing it in time. Hey, Christine. Cleaning up part of the shop. Well, I appreciate you listening. I'm Melinda. I have never heard that, but that does make sense. Hmm. We may have to try that though, because that rat poison, it's it's a little expensive. But now the kind I get, it's the soft bait. It's not the block. So when they bite into that soft bait, they get the whole thing. There's not a bunch of crumbs and stuff left over, like where they just sit there and nibble. I know what mice can do. They can squeeze themselves into a small, I mean, a little bitty small spot. Actually, and there again, it's kind of embarrassing just for y'all to know how we got overrun with them. But it might have been last Sunday or the Sunday before. Derek had went in our bedroom to watch something on the TV in there, and he kept hearing something in our bathroom that you have to walk through our bedroom to get to. And he pulled the shower curtain back, and there was a mouse in our bathtub. So he was going to do the dreaded. He come in here to get one of his work boots, and he was just going, I'm sorry, kill the thing right there in the bathtub. The mouse went down the drain. And I mean, those holes aren't big as nothing. So Derek come back in here, put his boot back down. He's like, he went down the drain. And I had no idea, which we assumed that's how he got in there. Because if he couldn't get out of the tub, there ain't no way he got in it. Because it's not like the shower curtain or anything hangs on the outside. So we assumed he'd come up the drain. Which is spooky to even think about that, too. I don't know. I guess, though, if they get hungry enough or cold enough or whatever, I might could squeeze my fat butt through something if I was hungry enough. I don't know. Is that what it is, Suburban? If they can fit their head in, then their body can go too. Huh, that makes sense too. But I've always heard that about cats. That's how they judge if they'll fit. If their whiskers will go through something or can get by, they can. Oh yeah, Christine, now, you would think that a dead mouse I don't know that an elephant would stink that bad. And they never seem to die out in the open. Normally they'd always go in the kitchen. To where the rare times that I can, and do cook, that was tough standing there trying to fry a pork chop smelling a dead rat or mouse. Oh, Melinda, I can imagine one coming up through the toilet. Ugh. I'm going to be so paranoid from now on, though. Before I get in the tub, I'll look to make sure a mouse is not in there. Now, with the toilet, a snake or the vent. But I guess when it does get cold and things like that, any kind of critter is going to try to come in. Yeah, now we have seen one of them jump before. I didn't realize they could jump that high. But I guess our tub was too deep for that one to get out. Yeah, Derek's right. We have come home to that smell several times. We had the traditional traps, like I said, that you put peanut butter on and then it snaps. But some of the mice that we had in our other trailer years ago, I guess they were just too tiny. I watched one sit there on the mousetrap, lick the peanut butter off, and then just sat there like looking at me going, you think that was enough? So we couldn't always bank on the old-fashioned traps working for ours. And there was one time we had our little single wide years ago. It was a 12-foot wide trailer. And we had set the old-fashioned wooden traps, like I said, with peanut butter. And I heard it go off during the night, but I wasn't going to get up at 1:30 or 2 o'clock to, deal with it. Just said I'd do it the next morning. So I got up about 6, 7 o'clock that next morning, and I walked through where I knew we had the trap. And okay, it wasn't in exactly the spot that it was. So I'm thinking, poor little thing must have, lived a little bit. And, when we finally got rid of that trailer and tore it apart, well, my oldest sister did, because we just kind of give it to them, let them use it for scrap metal, tear it apart. We never found that mousetrap. We have no idea where it went. There is no way that it got out of a door or anything. It was too freaky. And I still remember that. And that's been, shoot, we've had this double wide now for 17 years almost. So it's been long. It's been over 20 years ago. But yeah, I to this day don't know where it went. I'm wishing now, or then at that point in time, I was wishing then that I did get up sooner though with it. Because like I said, it disappeared. And I would have even, understood if I'd found the trap and no mouse. Because I know, sometimes they'll get out of it. But yeah, I couldn't find neither. Never found neither. So yeah, it's already 6:43. This evening's went by fast. I'm hoping it's cooling down a little outside. Which that's just South Georgia weather for you too. Sometimes we can get all 4 seasons in a given day. Now it's a little foggy this morning, and I don't like driving in fog. It wasn't so bad, but um, I'd rather it not be foggy at all. Yeah. Now there was several times what Derek said about the mouse traps, because he would adjust them, and I mean it was almost to the point you can even set it without making it go off. They were bad. I sure didn't want my fingers nowhere around them. But no, I don't like the sticky traps because it's not so quick. I used to work at a place years ago and they used those, and I didn't like some of what I saw from those and heard. So I'd rather, um, I know poisoning them ain't really quick and easy, but um, the poison's easier to get to their little cubby holes behind the stove, behind the washer, behind the refrigerator, where like the regular old fashioned traps, you can't hardly put those. Oh wow. Yeah, that would be terrible. Expecting just a mouse and get a snake. Which, speaking of snakes, we've been kind of lucky here where we live. I'm not saying that we don't have snakes that come through the yard, sometimes, but we have been very lucky in the a little over 26 years that we've lived here, that we've not seen very many snakes here in the yard. Um, Now, I come home from work one time years ago, and it's one of those things. Um, you see something, but it's like your brain takes a second to really register what you're seeing. Derek he was already home, and I was coming down the road, and it was right before our driveway. I was already slowing down to turn in, and I saw something on the left hand side of the road. And like I said, my mind just wasn't registering at first until it finally did register what I saw, because it started lifting its head. It was the biggest rattlesnake that I have ever seen before in person. I mean, it was at least the length. Well, it was longer than that, but it was the width of that side of the road, and it was so big around. I mean, it was bigger than my forearm. Um, and I don't know why I didn't have the good sense just to back my car up and kind of run him over. So I just tried to blow the horn to get Derek's attention, which our trailer's up from the road, but I thought he could hear my horn blowing. But I just took off up the driveway, and he heard me blowing the horn then, and he come out, and I told him, I said, grab your gun. There's a huge rattlesnake. Well, of course, by the time he got down the driveway, the snake was gone. But I haven't seen very many rattlesnakes, thank goodness, in my lifetime, but that was by far the biggest one that I have ever seen alive and in person. Copperheads, oh yeah. Now, years ago when I worked at a place, that was the first time that I had ever got on the internet. So it was either late 99 or early 2000. And I don't know how true this story was, because I didn't know what urban legends were then. But I had read a story on the internet. Like I said, now it's been almost 24 years ago or more, about two little boys. They were wanting to go fishing, and they thought that they had found earthworms, and it turned out to be little rattlesnakes, and that it bit one of them. And because they didn't understand or didn't know what it was, that the little boy had passed away from it. And like I said, that might not even be a true story, but that's what I had read, because they were just small enough that they thought they were worms, wasn't realizing that they were snakes. Derek, I didn't know it was actually this place that this particular spot that they called Rattlesnake Hill. I thought that was further down the road. Now, Melinda, it's my understanding, just from watching like Northwood's Law, aren't rattlesnakes protected in Texas? You're not allowed to kill those, are you? I'm sorry, we don't think twice here to kill one in Georgia.
It's actually right across the hill of Clark's old place.
Derek, I need to refill. Right. So it's close enough here, though, Derek. Oh. Do that for me. Sorry, y'all. I needed a refill, so Derek's helping me with that. Yeah, like I said, we started watching Northwood's Law, just about the game wardens and stuff. And one of the episodes had a guy. He had saw a rattlesnake crawling towards his neighbor's yard, and he knew that the neighbor had grandchildren, young kids playing. So he went in and killed the snake and called the game warden and told him what he'd done. And yeah, I still think they wrote him up for that. I couldn't imagine, Thank you, Derek. I mean, that's just like, we have a lot of poisonous snakes here, or like I said, not here where we're at, but like the copperheads and the diamondbacks, and I have just totally went blank. Moccasins. But I couldn't imagine not being able to, dispatch a poisonous snake in my yard. If we found one. Which now I'm allergic to bees as well. Or I was when I was a child. The doctor told, because I was only like 7 when I found out I was allergic to bees, and I remember him saying that could have been something that I might outgrow, but he never wanted me to take that chance. So that's one reason I'm not an outdoorsy person, though. I don't care much for the outdoors. Is because like this kind of weather here, there's honeybees, and which I'm in South Georgia, I'm gonna call everything a bee. And if it stings, it's a bee. And even though I know they're wasps, and y'all, that's something else. I don't actually pronounce the SP on the end. The way I say it more comes out like WALLST, wasp. That yeah, it's either bees or wasps. And but I have only gotten stung. See, the last time I got stung, I was 10, and then I got stung again when I was 36 years old. Got stung by a little pygmy wasp at work. I just said wasp. Pygmy, little bitty ones. Got me on my pinky finger though. And it had been all those like 26 years though since I got stung. I forgot how bad that hurt. It hurt. But now I tried not to panic because I didn't want to increase my own heart rate. I didn't want to be paranoid about it. So I just tried to remain calm. But y'all, my little pinky finger did not swell at all. So it's like my body wasn't trying to fight nothing. My twin sister actually brought me some Benadryl. And my oldest sister had come up there with me just to stay with me for about an hour, just to make sure nothing bad was going on. And I guess that Benadryl worked because nothing come of that. But it definitely was scary to me because, like I said, I had not been stung in so long. So, like, I'm not an outdoorsy person. I just soon stay in the house. Mainly for that reason, though. Like this time of year, with the snakes can crawl and the buzzing around bugs and bees and stuff that I ain't never cared for. Anyhow. I know years ago, we had a trash can at work, just a big. I don't know what size that is, but it's the big one that's got the lid on it. And I was throwing something away one day, so I took the lid off, and there, over that weekend, I saw this. It was a pretty web just across the opening of the big brown part of the can. And this was around 2008 because another guy that I worked with was there. And I called his name, and I said, what kind of spider is this? I said, it's weird. I said, it looks like a black widow, but it's not black. I said, but it's got the hourglass. He walked over there and he said, Gina, that's a brown widow. I had never heard of such. I didn't know such a thing existed. But my understanding is the brown widow is a cousin to the black widow. She's not as poisonous or venomous as the black widow, but yeah, you definitely don't want to encounter one. But that was the first time I had ever seen one, and like I said, I didn't even know they existed. Are y'all talking to me about the brown widow? No, it wasn't fuzzy. It was brown with a red hourglass on her. No, Melinda, it wasn't a brown recluse. Like I said, this had the bright red hourglass on her. But she was just as brown could be. Just a real pretty light brown. I'm sure if y'all want to Google it, just look up images or something of the brown widow. Which now, like I said, that was like 2008. Well, y'all, it is 6:57. This hour has definitely went by super fast. Um, I'm probably going to go ahead and be wrapping this up. Thank y'all so much for listening to my ramblings. This has been definitely a Talk About Tuesday. We have talked about everything. What, Derek?
Make sure you go the whole hour.
Huh?
Make sure you go the whole hour with your watch out.
Okay. He's telling me something about making sure I go the whole hour. And I will. But I was just going to go ahead and be. Because a while ago, before I went live, it said that I had a minute. And I think I blinked, and then it said waiting for Gina. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the minute went by quick. But what I was saying, oh, sorry. Let me see, Gina. No, Big Valley Living. I would love to do this every week. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Probably every other week. Sorry, y'all. I'm still reading the comments because on this tablet they are super small in my eyes. Even though I got contacts in, they're just I can't see them that well. Well, thank you, Big Valley Living. Like I said, it's probably not going to be an every week thing. But I will try to make it at least every other week. But there again, y'all, I do appreciate everybody that stops in and like was what I was saying a while ago. We have talked now about a hodgepodge of stuff. I mean, we went from ghost stories to mice to snakes to rattlers and bees. But that's kind of what I wanted this to be. Like I said, just a hodgepodge. Something gets said in the chat or whatever may get talked about. So this is turning out exactly like. I mean, I hope y'all are enjoying it because, like I said, it's turning out exactly like I had envisioned it and kind of wanted to go. So, hey, Rainy Ridge. But y'all, I am going to wrap it up. Like I said, I do appreciate everybody that has stopped in and if you didn't watch it while it's live, if you watch it later, I appreciate it. I appreciate a thumbs up. So I guess, guys, until, like I said, it may not be next Tuesday, but definitely I'll try to the Tuesday after. I'll just see y'all then. And until then, y'all take care and have a good night. Bye.